But first, getting Britain building. So Pirigesh, I'm going to start with you. So firstly, it looks like we are facing one of the biggest housing crises we've seen in years and years and years. And in fact, due to a new report that's been published, in order to keep up, we need to be building, I think we need 4 million homes, and we need to be building at least 340,000 a year until 2031. I mean, this is just unbelievable. And of course, homelessness is on the rise. And I think the biggest thing to discuss is that out of all those homes that are needed, what we really require is affordable housing. What's your views on all of this?
I think the first thing is, to be honest, it's almost like a bit of a broken record. If we look back 30, 40, 50 years, maybe when there was only 4 channels on TV, we may not have had the stats, but Britain was still not building enough houses. And no matter what government has come in, no matter what legislation has come in, there's been a chronic shortage of the ability to build new houses, to find, and I think that can be broken down into a number of different areas. I think one of the biggest issues we've got is planning. It's absolutely right that greenbelt land perhaps should be saved, but the way in which innovation can be used with the planning process, it's just not a process that anyone really understands how long it will take and or the likely outcome dependent on each project. So what that means is, to start with, where does new houses come from? It comes from an idea, it comes from a design, it comes from a plan. And when you've got a planning system which doesn't allow a regularization of a methodology that allows certainty, it can make it really difficult for builders, but also for funders. How are you supposed to, for example, debt, which is often used in building, in planning, it's really, really difficult. The amount of debt that a builder could get on something without planning is typically less than 50% of the value of the land.
Yes.
It means the amount of equity required is a lot more. And why is that? It's because of the risk, because there is no certainty. 1 week you might get planning approval, the next week you may get a rejection.
Right.
Moving on from the planning process, the next thing is actually around the build and construction itself. A lot of the people that I speak to are SME builders. People who are maybe 4, 5, 10, 50 strong. They've felt often they've not been involved in the house building process. It's really almost a cartel of kind of larger house builders. When you look at the amount of small house builders actually in the market today, it's reduced something like by 80% over the last 30, 40 years.
And maybe